We were talking a little while earlier about what we could do at wide receiver, right? With the injury to Alec Pierce, we're not sure how long he's going to be out. But the Colts made some roster moves today, pretty good amount of roster moves that could tell us what they're thinking about doing coming up into the game on Sunday. So as we look at what happened today, the report on the Colts official website says the Indianapolis Colts today signed free agent wide receiver Jawan Winfrey. In addition, the team restored center Jack Anderson to the practice squad and signed wide receiver Tyree Cleveland and running back Xavier Scott to the practice squad. The team released wide receivers Racy McMath and Anthony Miller and guard Dakota Shepley from the practice squad. So Anthony Miller was somebody that we were talking, hey, maybe he ends up coming in and plays a little bit of snaps on the outside this upcoming Sunday. That is not going to be happening. He is no longer on the practice squad. And Jawan Winfrey, this is interesting, man. He's a big guy. He got activated from the practice squad for the Colts for the first 3 games this season, ends up getting dropped from the practice squad. He's still there to pick up, and now he's signed to the squad. And with this happening, I'm curious what this exactly means for the other wide receivers, right? You think about Amari Rodgers. Are they going to kick him down to the practice squad or just release him? What's going to happen now? Very interested to see what the moves are going to be going forward. And I'm also going to be curious to see who's going to be the one practicing as the number 2 wide receiver in 3 wide receiver sets, right? Like I would assume that in 2 wide receiver sets this upcoming Sunday, it'll probably be Josh Downs if Alec Pierce isn't there. But when there are 3 or more wide receivers on the field, who's the other guy playing on the outside? Is that going to be Isaiah McKenzie? Is that going to be Jawan Winfrey? Are they going to let him get those reps? Have another tall guy on the outside that you can throw it up to. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. Jawan Winfrey is 6'1", 210 pounds. In his NFL career, he has a total of 9 catches for 75 yards. So this looks like a way that we could be going a guy that knows the offense already, right? He's been here. We talked a lot about him on this channel during training camp in the preseason and then there earlier in the regular season before he ended up getting dropped. So he's probably going to be the guy that's getting called up. But we will continue to monitor this situation, of course. Whenever any news about Alec Pierce comes out, I'll get that to you guys as soon as I possibly can. But the other thing I want to talk about here is Shaq Leonard. And coming off of the groin injury, we had talked about on this channel, I had mentioned how coming off of the groin injury, maybe, taking that time away was actually going to be helpful to him. He gets an extra week to rest and look over film and kind of self evaluate and then watch the film. And in this last game, he ended up playing 52 snaps, right? Zaire Franklin, 64 snaps, 8 tackles. Shaq Leonard, 52 snaps, 7 tackles. EJ Speed had 27 snaps, 2 tackles. So Shaq Leonard on the field more for that defense and able to be more effective for that defense. He had a tackle for loss in the game. And overall, at least watching the game on Sunday, you could tell he had an impact on the game, right? The way Zaire Franklin is usually impacting games, there were just different times where I was like, okay, there's 53 making a play, right? So looks like he's coming back to more of himself, slowly getting back into, which was kind of the plan, get him slowly back into, but he's starting to get more snaps. And when they're in that nickel defense, him and Zaire on the field together, we're going to see him get more action. And really, I was looking at it, he's only been thrown at 11 times this season, right? And there are 8 completions, but the air yards on those completions is only 23 yards. So it's a lot of dump down passes for the most part, and he's there to make the tackle for it. So it's not like Shaq, like he did give up the 1 touchdown, right? Which is most of the air yards of that 23 yards. But for the most part, the only time Shaq's even getting thrown at on defense is when he's in an assignment close to the line of scrimmage. So from a coverage aspect, in Gus Bradley's defense, he's doing his job. He's just, Gus Bradley's defense has some gaps in it. I think we've all seen that. They've been getting carved up pretty much every game. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They end up getting carved up at some point. But for the most part, what we've seen from Shaq so far, especially what we saw in this last game, yes, it wasn't the desired outcome. There was a lot of points given up. Defense was putting a lot of bad positions, but also gave up a lot of touchdowns. So there's some stuff to fix. There's some stuff to work on. Shaq, I'm not sitting here saying he's all the way back after this last game, but on the road back, right? They were talking about mid-November, Shaq being back. He got a big snap count in this last game. It'll be interesting to see if they decide to try to keep it that way going forward and what kind of impact that could have on this defense, right? He hasn't forced any turnovers this year, no interceptions, no forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, nothing. So going forward, that's what we hope to see, right? Is that's that's the maniac. Getting turnovers, that's the maniac. So hopefully going forward, we can see that start to pick up. But as of right now, it's a good sign to see Shaq getting the snap count and being able to be involved in the game, having an impact in the game. We just want to see those turnovers come back. That's something this whole defense needs right now is turnovers, right? We need to see the pass rush get back after it. We need to be forcing turnovers. So going forward, that's what we're going to be looking for. Hopefully Shaq can be a part of that. But from what I saw in the last game, it is very promising, right? You go beyond the numbers, go look at what he did, as you watch the game, as you go back, watch the all 22. Shaq had a pretty good game, right? Again, not perfect by the defense. I understand that. But I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. And I expect it to continue to get better, man. The maniac is on his way back. All right. And with that said, that's going to wrap this one up. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content. And until next time, as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.